Hello there, Pisces. I got a reading for you, and it's really all about coming to terms with everything that's all the, I guess, emotional abuse that's happened toward you in the past, accepting and taking responsibility for it so that you can reinvent yourself going forward. If you don't resonate with all of that, that's fine. You can check out your placements for your moon, your rising, your Venus and Mars on my channel or on any other tarot reader's channel. The point is for you to get the messages that you need to hear, because different placements in our astrological chart will light up at different times in our lives. So it doesn't have to be all about the sun sign all the time. Now, if you really enjoyed this reading as you go through it, make sure and give it a thumbs up, because that helps get the messages out to other people and it helps me out a lot too. So I really appreciate that. Now, going forward, when I started the reading, as I was shuffling the cards, I started with an affirmation, which is I take care of my body through movement, nourishing foods, and rest. And I think this is something that's really important for grounding you, Pisces, right now, because there's a lot of garbage coming up, especially in your dreams, in your unconscious mind, and in your dreams. Like you're just like doing your thing, or besides your dreams, in your conscious like daily life, you're doing your thing, and then your thoughts go back. That blah, 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 all this like nonsense from what people did to you in the past comes percolating up, because you were this is my Pisces card. You were this sweet, kind, generous person that always gave people the benefit of the doubt. And over again, they took advantage of that. And I'm not saying it's because they were bad people. It's just because they didn't know how to care for you the way that you needed to be cared for. And what did that do? That turned you into resentful Pisces, right? You're really, really tired of it. You're like, I'm so tired of waking up, feeling myself grinding my teeth in the morning. I'm tired of attracting the same kind of people into my life, the same kind of like nonsense, garbage people into my life that I have attracted over and over again, that just tell me that I'm stupid and tell me that I don't that treat me like I don't know my own feelings, tell me that I'm crazy if I express myself emotionally, and so on and so forth. And when it comes down to time to take care of Pisces, where the hell are they? They aren't there. But if you're not there for them, oh boy, right? Trouble if you're not there for them. You want to attract something different in your life, don't you, Pisces? How can you do that if you're still dwelling on being resentful about what people did to you before? You have to become the person that attracts those positive energies. It's like you have to become a different person, right? And so you're ready for that. How are we gonna get there? Let's get there, all right? We got you're leaving this person behind, the resentful person that gave and gave and gave, right? And also, I do sense that there is a leaning toward either substance abuse or other like obsessions, mental obsessions, like being in love with love, like totally falling head over heels for somebody just because they gave you a little bit of attention without actually getting to know who those people were and how like bad for you they actually were. So it's like checking out from reality was happening before, and you're like, I'm done with doing that. I want to be realistic. I want to know what I'm getting myself into so that I don't experience those kinds of relationships anymore. And this is you going forward into the future. This is what you want to embrace. Now, this is like being in love with love kind of card. However, it's like I'm a child again, but I'm a child that is not as naive as I used to be. Now I realize that just because somebody's giving me the gift of their attention does not mean that we're going to fall happily ever after. They have to prove to me that they are worthy of my attention, because first and foremost, I am giving the flowers to myself. You see how this boy is giving flowers to the girl? It's actually you giving flowers to yourself, you taking care of yourself. You want a nice, lovely romantic dinner? Make it for yourself, Pisces. That's not sad, right? That's not pitiful. That is you embracing what you are worthy of. And if nobody else is doing it for you, you do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else. You're like, I want a romantic dinner. And you make a romantic dinner for the person in your life. And they're like, okay, whatever. And they're like looking at their phone the whole time. No, you're not doing that anymore. You are going to sit down and have a romantic dinner with just you and give you attention, right? You're going to take yourself to get some exercise. Even if it's in your own living room, you're going to take really good sensual care of your body. You're getting grounded into your body and not being in the emotional center. This will help you clear your mind so that you can instead focus on the positive stuff, right? Where you're retraining the tape loop away from the resentment of what happened before, or away from the fear. If you don't pour a bunch of love into somebody, they're going to abandon you. You're redoing the tape loop in your head to being like, I love taking care of myself. I love taking care of my body. Okay? And nourishing foods is so important because healthy food improves our cognitive abilities. It helps us to think more clearly. It helps us to have a positive state of mind so we don't slip into the negativity of thinking about things that happened in the past. All right. So now I'm going to look at the internal landscape and look at the advice that comes along with it. I know that somebody's going to be coming through the door any minute, so I want to get through this as quickly as possible so that we can have privacy for this, okay? So we're kind of looking at things that happened from the past and we're addressing it and we're going forward. We're not pretending that it didn't happen, all right? So these two swords, I was like, yikes, all the swords, right? We're not pretending that all of this didn't happen. We are addressing what we think our limitations are. We are addressing what we think other people did to us in the past, and we're saying, but that does not define who I am today. I'm not that person anymore. That is not me. I'm a person that can make healthy decisions when it comes to who I interact with. So I don't come to the point where I'm leaving with my head hung in shame, right? Where I don't have to feel like I'm running away from somebody who's taken over my life. So the judgment is here, or justice is here and saying, I will decide what's fair for me from now on. I am making my own I'm making my own reality now, and it's got to be fair to me. You got to be patient with yourself, my dear Pisces. Be patient, because the manifestations, the physical manifestations of your mental set point will not happen immediately. Like there's sometimes, occasionally, there's like a little something that happens to tell you, a little thing will happen to tell you that you're on the right track. But like the real solid foundational changes that you need to have in order to become this new person are going to be slow and steady. So make sure and be patient. But first and foremost, you've got to decide, I'm taking responsibility for my emotional well-being. I'm taking responsibility for who I give my time and energy to from now on. It's got to be fair to me. Always look at it from the outside perspective. Pretend that you are your best girlfriend, or if you identify as masculine, your best dude friend, your best bro, and you're saying, hey, how does this relationship look to you? And they'd be, your instinct always tells you, whenever you've been tangled up in these relationships that were no good for you, your intuition always told you, your spirit always told you this isn't right. But you're like, but I don't want to be alone, and this person could be the one. I could make them into the one, right? And you adapt to them, right? Instead, you need them to be willing to adapt to you, because you're so awesome. Really, you are worthy of it. And if no one's willing to adapt to you, then it's cool, because you're way better off on your own. Everyone is way better off being single. Being in relationships is wonderful, but everyone is way better off being single than they are being in an unhealthy dynamic, right? Slow and steady, deciding what's fair for you. Now we got the 10 of Swords that it's coming up in the advice column, in the advice row. And it's not here saying like you've got to have the mentality that people are out to betray you. It's quite the opposite, right? We need to be working on this. Are you in therapy, my dear? Or are you working on journaling all of the stuff that's going on in your head? We need to address that. The Queen of Swords is like, It's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair, right? I need to do something about it, but I don't know how. I'm sick of being in this tape loop, but I don't know how to change it, right? So it's either like we need to be talking about it in therapy, or we need to be journaling about it and looking at it from the outside perspective. The Queen of Swords is going to be, she's going to be objective. So there needs to be an objective point of view. And remember, I was talking about that when it comes to who you connect with from now on, the relationships that you choose from now on, objective standpoint. So looking at these feelings of betrayal that you've had in the past from an objective standpoint. So what would an objective person say? If you wrote out your experiences in a journal, what would that therapist, what would that objective friend be saying to you about what you experienced? Okay, so be working on that, because like, I mean, we're not fools. We have to have these experiences. Everyone has had these experiences. So we need to forgive ourselves, acknowledge them, forgive our own roles, and allow space for that person to be a person that makes mistakes. Doesn't mean you have to ever speak to them again. It's like a forgiveness in your own head, and not an actual, like, you don't have to go and track them down and forgive them, especially if they don't deserve it, right? But knowing that we all are fools at one time or another in our lives, right? You don't have to do anything to reach out to those people. Making that clear, right? Forgive yourself, though, first and foremost, for allowing yourself to be hurt. So finally, we got the Two of Wands. I don't know what to do to get to the point where I'm this person that brings in this wonderful love, these connections that benefit me. I don't know what to do with it, right? I don't know how to get there. And I feel like the universe is coming in to create the new you. And this is really exciting. The world is here. It's like, know that anything can happen. New chapters can start at any time. And the first thing is to let yourself be a blank slate, right? Be a blank slate by going into a routine where you're taking really good care of yourself. Your physical body first as a foundation. Make sure that you have an economic stability of your own that isn't connected with someone else. And anything can happen from that point of you being this new person to help you grow into this new life that you didn't expect. And the world being here is alluding to a transitional period. You can't tell that it's transitional at this time, but at the time of this recording, it's like 2 days after the full moon in Pisces. So I'm really sensing a significant transition for Pisces, for many Pisces that are experiencing this, where they're becoming increasingly self-empowered and choosing for themselves how their future is going forward instead of working with what is given to them. All right. So you're not seeing this transition while you're in it, but later on you're going to look back and you're going to be like, wow, that was the shift from the former version of me to the new version of me. And the world is in your hands. You've got the world in your hands. You can have anything you want. That's the truth at any time. You can transition and have anything you want at any time. It's just a matter of deciding that you're worthy of it. And I think that you're getting a little bit of a taste of that, of your worthiness, of having what you want. First thing I think that Pisces wants is to be rid of the anguish of what happened in the past. And you deserve that. You deserve to be free, emotionally free from everything that happened to you before, because it wasn't your fault. Okay? Forgive yourself. I love you, Pisces. Thank you so much for being with me today. Like I said, give it a thumbs up if you love the reading. Make sure and subscribe if you haven't already, so you can be in the loop when Pisces readings come around in another 12 days or 2 weeks. And in the description box below, you'll find a link to my Instagram. Come follow me over there and we'll be friends. Love you, Pisces. Mwah! I'll see you later.